All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights.
I, as a member of society, have the right to social security and the free development of my personality.
I
have the right to work, free choice of employment,
fair conditions of work,
protection against unemployment,
equal pay for equal work,
have the existence worthy of human dignity.
I have a right to a standard of living
adequate for the health and well-being of myself
and of my family.
Those are my rights,
according to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. After the economic crisis in the Soviet Union,
an increasing number of women have assumed the role of breadwinners.
To some extent, that phenomenon changed the traditional gender roles existing in the society.
Some things are better.
40% of Kazakh women have their own business.
In 2005, there was no women in the government of Kyrgyzstan.
In 2007, as a consequence of government law in the context of elections, women constitute 26% of parliamentarians.
Montenegro already has the Agency for Equal Rights,
although it is one of the youngest countries in the world.
In Belarus, 69% of the world students are women.
160 organizations in Kyrgyzstan work for the improvement of women's situation.
And women head up 80% of those NGOs.
Some things have to be changed.
Violence against women and girls is one of the most widespread violations of human rights.
There is still a lot to be done.
Domestic violence is often relational power.
Many women depend on men financially.
There is still a lot to be done.
If women took the steps to achieve financial independence, they could really improve their lives.
There is still a lot to be done.
More than 80% of all unemployed in Ukraine are women.
There is still a lot to be done.
In Ukraine, only 2% of industry business managers are women.
There's still a lot to be done.
Women in Georgia earns only 45% of men's salary on the same position.
There is still a lot to be done.
A lot of single mothers and their children from the Balkans and Eastern Europe live in poverty.
There is still a lot to be done. Less than 40% of female Macedonians are active on the labor market.
There is still a lot to be done.
70% people living in Armenia without social union are women.
There is still a lot to be done.
60% of unemployed people in Kyrgyzstan are women.
There is still a lot to be done.
The third Millennium Development Goal is to promote gender equality and empower women.
Actually, every single Millennium Development Goal is directly related to women's rights.
Only those societies where women are afforded equal rights
can achieve development in a sustainable manner.
We fight for a better future.
There is still a lot to be done.
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 There's still a lot to be done.
Still a lot to be done.
There is 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 still a lot to be done.
Still a lot to be done.
There is still a lot to be done.